Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Well, last time we were together, we discussed the first lesson in a course in miracles. So, and I'll put that link up there, because sometimes these don't follow in order. They get kind of confused. So did you go back, take a look at it? We had a lot of fun, and we basically found out nothing outside of you has any meaning. Now, why we can say that, go back and take a look at that video and see if it might make sense to you. So this week we're going to talk about beliefs and the power that beliefs have. Beliefs have a tremendous amount of power. And you know why? Because we believe them. So in this video, we're going to talk about what are beliefs and how are they held together, and how they support the illusion which we're embedded in, and we just don't know it. So this ought to be some fun. Now, I recognize that there's not a lot of interest in understanding how we are embedded in an illusion, because we're having a fantastic time living in the illusion. And even to mention that it's an illusion will raise the cackles on the necks of a lot of people who enjoy living in the illusion. Now, what's the advantage of recognizing you're in an illusion? Well, the biggest advantage is you can change it. You can change your world. Why? Because it's an illusion and it's not real. But oh my goodness, don't we believe it is absolutely real? And it is fantastic until you fall into it. And then it becomes problematic. So if you can move through that and begin to understand how the illusion is held together, and to be able to recognize nothing is what you think it is. And the last video pointed that out, that there's nothing outside of you, nothing that has any meaning. You create your world, and therefore you create your illusion. And if you don't like your world, you can change it. And how you believe has everything to do with that. So let's see how we can hold this whole illusion together in the egoic world. Funny name, egoic. It means ego-driven. And that's what the illusion is. So, in a moment, we'll come back, we'll rearrange this scene, and we'll have some more fun. So stick around. I'll see you in a moment. Well, we're back again. So we're going to be talking about what I've written up here, the power of beliefs. Now, you might have thought that we're going to talk about very profound beliefs. No, we're not. We're going to talk about beliefs that cause your world to be the way it is. And what beliefs cause your world to be the way it is? It's your negative beliefs. It's the negative beliefs that you think about yourself, that you believe is who you are. Now, in therapy, that's why most people come, because they have a distorted belief, a negative belief about themselves. Now, how do they get that? That's what we're going to talk about. So I'll go through several small models until we get the idea of how we create our world based upon what we believe about ourselves. That's really the most important thing, what we believe about ourselves. So, as you can see, I already have started with a very common in therapy, a very common belief that people have. To one degree or another, they might disguise it in many different ways, but it all gets down to kind of, I'm not good enough. So we're going to find out how you get that belief inside of you. And then how that belief is held in place that causes your world to be less than it could be. So now I want you to look at this. I'm not good enough. And I'll make believe that's a belief that you have. Now, I know that through positive thinking and affirmations, it's not good practice to say negative things about yourself. But we do it all the time inside. So let's look at how this works. Now, I'm going to draw and see if you can guess what I'm drawing. Because it is kind of interesting and kind of important to our model that we understand this little drawing. And so, don't everybody shout at once. But what does this look like? Now, if you set a table, you'd be right. So from this point on, this is a metaphor. We're going to use it as a metaphor to look at the power of the beliefs that you have inside of you. And we're going to start with negative ones. They're the easiest because they pop up all the time and they're so emotional that we can relate to them. So here we have on top of the table, I'm not good enough. Pretty obvious, right? That's on the top of the table. That's your belief. Now, it could be I'm not liked. People don't listen to me. All kinds of stuff like that. All in all, it gets back to this. There's something wrong with us. That's why people don't listen to us. That's why we're not liked. And all those other negative emotions, negative beliefs that we have, and the emotions that go with them. So this is a tabletop, and on the tabletop is your negative belief. Now, metaphorically, what holds this table in place? Now, I'm going to answer for you because I can't hear you over the internet. The legs. The legs hold the tabletop in place. Okay. Pretty good observation. But what do the legs represent? That's the important part. In this model, what do the legs represent? Okay, again, I'm going to have to guess what you might say. And you might say, if you were observant, well, these are experiences. These represent experiences I have had in my life, throughout my life, from childhood to wherever you are now. These experiences have led you to believe you're not good enough. Now, most of the time, in your experiences, very few people would say out loud or directly to you, hey, you're just not good enough for what I need. Now, they don't say that. They make up all kinds of things, but you know it's because you're not good enough. So basically, your experiences, in your experiences, nobody will tell you that directly. But you will interpret the experiences that you're not good enough. There's something wrong with you. Not with them, but with you. Now, here's the thing. To have a belief be inside of you, you have to have many, 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 many experiences that you have interpreted. I'm not good enough. If you only had one, somebody happened and you interpret it, well, he thinks I'm not good enough. If that happens, you might say, well, I got to be careful of my language, but you might say, the heck with him. He doesn't know me at all. 1, 2, 3 won't change you, won't put a belief inside of you. But if you interpret a lot of legs, a lot of support holding this in place, crooked legs, on an angle legs, over and over and over, from parents, from teachers, from however you interpret it, many, many, many experiences that have caused you to believe you're not good enough, then that negative experience takes root in your conscious mind, in your subconscious mind. Now, we already know from past videos that every experience you have is recorded in your subconscious mind. They cluster together. They support each other. So you will have all of these experiences that have clustered together and support your interpretation of your life. You're not good enough. So this is the first model I want you to get. It is the experiences in your life. Now, when I say experiences, it is your interpretation of the experience that you are having that causes you to believe you're not good enough. It's not the experience, because the experience is outside of you. And from our last video, if I haven't put a link up there yet, I will. From our last video, nothing outside of you has any meaning. When is the meaning put on it? When you internalize it, when you bring the information inside, when you move it through your other experiences that are now memories, you put the interpretation on it that you're not good enough. So you are creating that world that you're not good enough. It becomes a belief and very powerful in the way you see your world. Now, this is our first model. So in a minute, now I'm going to use the same negative belief because it's easy to relate to. So this is the first model. It's what holds the belief in place is your experiences. But there's something else that goes along with it. And that's what we're going to talk about next. So stick around while I take this off and I'll set up another little model so that we can relate the two. But remember this. This is what we're going to talk about. You're not good enough. How do I know that? I don't, but you do from your experiences. See you in a moment. Well, now we're ready for the second model. And it looks like this. We have the belief, or what we're calling our negative belief that we have about ourselves. I'm not good enough. Okay? Now, what holds that belief in place? From the first model, we already know. Two things hold it in place. Two things hold the belief in place. That you keep it. You keep it for these two reasons. If it wasn't for these reasons, if you only had one and you didn't have the other, you only had one and you didn't have the other, you couldn't have the belief that you have. Now there's a clue in that, in how do you change beliefs? Okay? Now, what do you think the first one is? Now, we just talked about it in the last video. So I'm going to put it down because you will remember it from the last model, not the last video, last model. And it is experience. You'll have certain experiences in your outside world, which is only energy. But it will, because you'll take the experience in and you will interpret it. You will interpret it into, I'm not good enough. You do that to yourself, inside, not outside. Outside is a neutral experience. You take the information in and you interpret it inside based upon your unique past. You're not good enough. But you need something else that holds this in place. And that's where the pain is. And that's why it's so devastating. This is what you need here that keeps this in place more than the experience. More than the experience itself. And it's done inside. It's this. It is a feeling. In your body. It is a feeling in your body when this happens. It is that rejection that you feel in your body when you have an experience that you interpret as you're not good enough. You're not wanted. You're not liked. You're not smart enough. However, that negative belief has worked itself, has wormed itself in through your experience. It is the feeling in the body that's so devastating. That's why you don't try to do new stuff. Because you're afraid this part of you will show. This part of you will show. And people will, now this is, you'll be judged. That's very strong with many people. That's why they don't go public speaking. That's why they don't apply for new jobs. Because they're afraid that people will find out they're not good enough. Has nothing to do with your intellect, how smart you were, or anything like that. These two things hold your beliefs in place. Now, positive beliefs run the same way. If you have a positive belief, I'm loved, I'm liked, I'm valuable, I have worth, you'll have experience that reinforces that, and the feeling in the body will be wonderful. Wonderful. And so you'll try that again. Why? You want to feel wonderful. But if your experience is and your belief is inside of you, you're not good enough. You don't want to feel this. So you won't try. You won't go out for the glee club. You won't go out for the chess team. You won't go out for football or whatever you want because you don't want to feel this in your body because you know this is true about you. Brings your life in, causes you to work in jobs that you don't like. It causes you to do a lot of things that if you didn't have this belief about you, you could do magnificent things. So let's look again. We're going to change this model again. Now these are three models. The first one was the tabletop and the legs that hold it in place, which are the experiences. But what in that model I did not talk about is that these two together are what hold the belief in place, the feeling in the body. If it's negative belief about yourself, you're going to have a negative feeling in your body when you interpret the outside experience in a negative way. If you interpret it in a positive way, you're going to have wonderful feeling in the body. But these two hold it in place. The experience, the outside experience, and the feeling that gives you in the body. By the way, the feeling in the body does not come from the outside experience. It comes from your inside interpretation of the experience. The inside interpretation of the experience. Because the outside experience is neutral. Until you bring the information in and interpret it through your past experiences and memories. Now notice, I'm emphasizing memories. Because we talked about them before, and memories are creations. They're not events. They are created interpretations of this. It's not this. It's not the experience. It's not the event. It is the interpretation inside of you based upon your past experiences and memories that determine how you're going to feel in the body. Oh, this is very convoluted and very interesting. Now, we're going to change the model again, and this will be the last time. Maybe we could develop another model, but that's enough for now so that you can begin to appreciate the power of your beliefs, particularly your negative beliefs. So, see you in a moment. Well, we're back for the third model in our quest to understand the power of our unique individual beliefs. In this model, we're talking about negative beliefs. Now, I thought I'd let you enjoy me drawing a picture, a representation of you. I'm imagining I can see you. Maybe I can. Some people think I'm psychic or psycho. I'm not sure which. So let's start with a picture of you. So I'm going to turn my back to you while I draw this picture of you. Now pay attention. What do you think? I think it looks more like me, so maybe I was using me as a model. Doesn't have much hair and it's got glasses. So, could be me too. Now, this represents what's inside of you. And everything else over here represents what's outside of you. Okay? So, what's outside of you? Well, some people are going to say, you know, my teacup is outside of me. My car is outside of me. Now, we've done this before in other videos. And so rather than go through the whole thing about the cosmos and the stars and the moon and all of that, everything, all the objects, at least in this model, are outside of you. So everything is outside of you. So I got to put that down, everything. Everything is outside of you. What's inside of you? Well, when I ask this question in therapy or in session, a lot of people will say, well, my thoughts. And that's what a belief is. So all your beliefs are here. But let's just start with the one. Let's just put inside of here the one we started with, which is, I'm not good enough. So that's what we're starting with, and that's what we're ending with. Because it's a belief. All your beliefs are inside of you. Everything is outside of you. That means outside of you are all the good stuff, all the terrible stuff, all the wars, all the death, all of the pain, all of the joy, all of the excitement, all of the bliss. Everything is out here. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's a perfect, because in our last several videos, not the last one, the one before, this is all energy out here anyway. It's nothing physical. It's all energy. Inside, again, it's basically energy, but in the form of beliefs, thoughts, memories. So now inside of you, in this model, we have the belief, I'm not good enough. Now you have this belief inside of you. And it colors, it taints your world. It also filters what you can see, what you can find out here. What experiences you're going to have. So inside you have the belief you're not good enough, or you're not liked, or whatever negative belief. I keep saying negative because it's the negative beliefs that run your world, not the positive ones. Positive ones are great, but it's the negative ones that cause your world to become small. Now, your glasses, these are special glasses that you have. You don't see them, but you all got them. And these glasses are your filter of how you see your world out here, how you see the everything. So how are they filtered? By your belief. Now, what do you need to hold this belief in place? You need outside experience. You need something happening out here to verify that this is true. So through your lens, which is your belief system, what are you going to find out here? Proof. You're going to find proof that this is true. So you are going to find, if you think about this a lot of times, now I'll draw little lines representing how you think about this belief. You think about it and you're filtering, and you're going to find proof out here. You're going to find proof that this is true. Now, from our other model, the last model, if you can't find proof, you can't have this belief. But since you know this is you, this is your belief, you will filter the everything. The precious, the beautiful, the serene, and the bad and the ugly. And you will find only what matches your belief. So you will pick out of this outside everything only, or most of the time, those things that match your belief on the inside. So your outside and your inside are the same. You probably didn't think that, but they are. Your outside world is a direct reflection, and most people don't get this at all. So I'm going to tell you again. Your outside is a direct reflection of what you're doing inside. So if you're unhappy, if you're disappointed, you're going to point to the outside and say, well, they did that, or she did that, or he did that, or my boss did it, or somebody else did it out here. They did some good things too. Maybe not to you because you didn't see them. They like themselves. But because of the way you're wound on the inside, you see proof that matches your inside. The inside and the outside must be the same if you have, for the beliefs, experiences, and references that you have. Have to be. If they're not, you can't have those. You'd have better ones, different ones, or worse ones. Whichever way, they will match. They must match. Now, if somebody, say, I'm not good enough, and somebody says, out here, says, oh my God, I think you're fantastic, you're miraculous, I really appreciate you. You know what you'll do? Because this drives you. Your beliefs drive you. And if you meet somebody like that, you know what you will do? You'll be very happy with that. And you'll smile. And behind the smile, you'll be thinking, if they really knew me, they wouldn't say that. So you will sabotage this, or you will try to bring it in to match your belief system. Are you beginning to see how powerful your beliefs are when they're inside of you? They create your world. I say the negative ones because the negative ones represent survival. I don't want to have that feeling in my body, because this will represent a feeling in your body. And how does it feel when you have experience that you created out of here? You're not good enough. Feels terrible. Causes relationships to fall apart. Causes you to take less than the jobs and occupations that you want. This power of your beliefs. Now I know you're thinking, beliefs, God and country and all that. Now that's not what runs your life. It is this belief. Or similar, very kind of quiet. Nobody likes me. Nobody listens to me. They walk out on me when I'm talking. It's like I'm not even here. It makes me feel lonely and sad, depressed. That's where our mental health problems come from. It's our belief system. Now, what is your belief system made out of? I've had other videos on that, but basically, your belief system is based upon memories of your experiences from the past. And it's your past that needs to heal. It is your past memories that you carry with you that are the negative ones that need to be reframed and healed. And that's what therapy is about. Now, I know a lot of therapy goes to the outside on different beliefs. Overweight. Oh, we're going to change your diet. Here's the problem. You have the diet you do because of the beliefs, experiences, and references you have on the inside. And what you believe you should weigh, or look, or act. The outside reflects the inside. If you change the outside, like you go on a diet, you will. You can change the outside for a while. But unless you change the inside, when you stop the diet, when you stop the exercise, when you stop the training, because the motivation won't be there after a while. Because this is what you should really be. This is what you should really be. And this will slowly go back to the way it was. So these are matched. Now the secret is, as you change this, change this. How do you change that? This is related to the past. You got to change that. You got to change your programming. When you do that, these two work together. Change on the outside and change on the inside, both working in a positive way as you forgive yourself and heal your past. So, I hope it gives you an idea of how powerful your beliefs are and gives you some idea how you can change them and change your life. You probably didn't know you could change your life by changing how you think on the inside. But that's what affirmations are about. That's what therapy is about. That's what a lot of stuff is about, but we don't recognize it. So give that some thought, and we'll get back together for another interesting look into the illusion that you're embedded in. Be good to yourself, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.